really ought to have like see if I can get. No, it's probably it might be it's too much, but I was looking at that intro. I should have Pabs like do a little animation or do a plug-in animation or something. I'm sure there's one that's out there that is just like a rubber stamp hand, like a little Mickey Mouse hand with rubber stamp on it that comes down over the drink card that says laugh instead of drink because I haven't had a drink in like 3 months. So doesn't really play into the whole theme anymore. But I suppose eventually I'll have a drink here and there, I suppose. But welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, birds in the sky, fish in the sea, amoebas swimming around in between your eyelashes. Well, you. Welcome
and Alex the Doofs.
And Alex the Doof. The Doof warrior up in this biz. I'm gonna put my hair's all greasy. I'm gonna put it up in a ponytail. What is up, guys? Welcome to the KotoKai Workbench 171. Wow, it took us a long time to get to 100, and we're almost at 200. Pretty crazy.
God, I don't. Too much to think about, honestly.
How many models did you finish between there, Paul?
You.
Baby,
not 71. I can show you that.
Oh Lord, no!
I'm just about done with this one. I got some work done this week. All my weapons are all assembled and lined and everything. I just got to put decals on them and then flat coat them. Remember I was like talking about grays and the whole problem. So I did a two-tone and I don't particularly like it, actually. I wish I would have just went with one color. I think you and Zach both told me don't overcomplicate it, and I should have just went a single color. It would have been fine.
Okay, I hear you.
It's all right. I forgot. A bad thing about taking so long to finish models is like you do something and you have an idea and then like you don't remember exactly what you did. And so this one has like some, like the gun especially has some little details, and I don't know, you can see that like you're probably picking up some glare.
Yeah,
that part is a different color, like by design. It's like a blue, and then along the top this was supposed to be gold, which I always thought was weird because the power cables all along the suit are red, so I went with red instead. But anyway, I should have just painted this all one color. This is picking up a little like more contrasty than it really is, but I should have just went all with like that darker color. I think it would have been fine.
All black. I don't know. I like the lighter color too.
That's what I mean. It's really, the camera's darkening that probably because of the way the lights are in here. It's not black at all. It's I forget what color gray, but
right on.
It's like a
you were talking about
or something.
Grace.
Yeah,
I think that like I almost feel like if you're gonna go 2, you should go 3. And you've gone 3 with the red cables, which I get, but if you're gonna go 2 tones of gray, you should almost go 3 tones of gray.
Well, there's the red cables, and like where the red cable sits is actually the blue that's like on the chest of the mobile suit as well.
Right.
So it's
blue.
Yeah, I think just all gray with those 2 little details would have been more than enough.
Fine.
It worked out a little better on the bazooka. It's a little hard, and you can see like how close they are. The bottom of this, on this one, it shows up a little easier or less extreme. The bottom is lighter than the top.
Right. Yeah, so you can kind of see that.
Yeah, but it's not as like in the other one. They're the same 2 colors. In the other one, it looks super contrasty. In this one,
right on,
like less of that.
Maybe if the 2 tones were slightly closer to each other or something, it wasn't so much.
Yeah.
You could always wash it with something later, or like, I guess, I don't know if you really want
to. I'm hoping when they especially when I flat coat it, a lot of times the dark colors will, they don't lighten, but they like I said, it's not that you see the difference between them. I just don't care for it at all. Like I just would have preferred it be less detailed. And when you think about it, weapons, like unless it's something like crazy, like some really unique thing to the suit, why would they be so customized? Like it would just be kind of somewhat plain, you know what I mean? Like it's a utility thing. It's not.
Yeah, I feel a little bit the same way with what I did with the Regal's sniper from my Calamity build from a few years back. I did like same style of camo with that like safari-esque like slashy style of camouflage, but I did it in an entirely different color, and I added in like 2 or 3 other colors to it that weren't even really like be present and they were kind of present in the suit, but it made the art look different, like dramatically.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a part of that. Like a lot of things were successful with that build. I did a lot of cool things. His models are very, very busy, and that's hard because I wanted to paint a lot of detail when I did that thing.
Right.
But like, there were a lot of like things that came off not so good on it. It's like a learning experience, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
And like I said, that's one of the things I've noticed, like in like this build, because it although it's taken me like a crazy long time to finish it, it was like at this 85% mark when I stopped building it. Like it wasn't like I was really building it that whole time. I got to a point where I couldn't finish it in time for the competition, and I just threw it aside for months. It didn't even get looked at. Well, then I pick it back up and I'm like, oh, what was I like exactly thinking here? I don't remember, you know, like what did I want to do? And even looking at things that I did to get to that 85%, I'm like, man, I would have done that differently. But at the time, because the competition was clean versus weathered, and they told you like the paint quality is what we're actually looking at, I didn't want to throw 700 details into it and it be like, you know, maybe my skill level or my time would cause that not to really come out. So I also didn't want to like, oh, well, now I have unlimited time, so let me do these two pieces that I didn't finish. I still have to look like the rest of the suit, so they can't be super duper detailed, whereas the rest of the thing looks, you know, relatively simple. So anywho, it's a learning experience, and don't do that. Just finish.
Yeah, no shelf. Well, hey, I pulled out a shelf queen. That's the thing I'm working on. But it wasn't quite as long, I guess, because it was 2020 when I put this one down. And wait, that's the same amount of time.
No, that's longer. This was longer. 2021 or 2022. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, because this was right at the beginning of the pandemic. So it would have been 21. Yeah. 20. I remember 20. So yeah. So 2020 is when I did the work. We did the 4 Horsemen build off. I was looking back to all the videos because I did that whole extra live stream that was about just the 4 Horsemen build off. Yeah, pretty wild, man. Holy shit, what a long road. But what I was thinking about when you were saying that, how you had worked on it for so long and then had put it down and had to like leave it for a while. That's an advocacy for doing a build journal. Right?
Yep.
Even like something simple, just like a dedicated notebook where you just like go through it. Even if you just like 4 or 5 pages as a build or something out of a 100-page notebook, stack full of builds. But I've been thinking about that too. I make lists. I have folders. I have like a fucking big ass file full of project folders from all of the stuff that I've done, but I don't do it for every build, and you know it tends to be a little bit messy. So doing like I think maybe adopting some sort of like journal, then it gives me a chance to kind of like, I think they were talking about that on like one of the other hobby podcasts that I listen to, like Model Mojo sense. Maybe, or something like that. I
also have found, I think we talked about this like a couple weeks ago, that for right now, like my time is really limited, the amount of time, like spare time I have. So I don't not do anything though. Even if I just give myself like one night a week and it's only 2 hours and all I can work on is just one thing, I just do it and set that time apart, aside, and just keep, like push through it a little. It helps me not do that, like at least I'm doing something and I'm in the model and I'm not, like just putting it aside and not thinking about it for whatever amount of months or years or whatever it's going to be. Cause that's what, like I said, I'm like, oh, man, like even, like I did something almost dangerous in that I didn't like write down the colors, for instance. Now for the suit, it wasn't that big of a deal, but for like the inner frames and some of the little details, like the grays and stuff, I didn't write down which gray I used. So I'm going through all my jars of gray and I'm like, holy shit. Like, cause especially we joked about it, but like, they have like medium gray 7, medium gray 9. And they're like, what's the difference?
That's why you shouldn't have too many grays.
I shouldn't. I agree with that actually now.
Find your go-to set of grays and then throw all the others out.
Well, what I did was, I think it was it Volks USA, when they were going out of business. At the time, it wasn't easy to get Mr. Color stuff. Like only a few places had it, or you'd have to order on eBay. So I bought like everything I could get from them at the time. You know, like I spent like $250 on paint because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. And then it ended up becoming like, at that point, it was really only Mr. Color, Tamiya, and like a couple of acrylics. Now there's like 20 more brands and people that carry them. Yeah. So anyway, that's how I ended up with all these grays and reds. I don't know how those two in particular I ended up with.
Paul likes gray and red. You should be building sports car models, Paul. What am I saying, buddy?
I do want to. I think that's going to be one of the, once I finish this and like finish the weapons on the Jesta, that's another thing that's like, but it's one weapon I just have to finish. And like,
oh, that's right.
I don't look at it like, that thing is done other than that rifle. Yeah, but I mean it's been done other than that rifle for since probably like 2019, I would say, or something like that. I don't remember, but anyway,
right on.
I digress.
Sure, it's easy to digress. It's part of the game. My wife just got home from work. I'm gonna mute myself and say hello.
Yes.
Nice.
So, Jeff, how's it been going for you, man? How's what's been well? How's your progress on the unicorn going?
Well, we'll see in a bit. I'm taking a bunch of models to this IPMS thing on Saturday, and all this week I've been pulling things out of boxes, things I haven't seen since before COVID, right? And you talk about putting things away for a long time and then coming back to them. I'm going to show something.
How topical, huh? I'm glad I said that.
Yeah, I'm going to be the theme for the evening, maybe. And the idea of a journal, I think if I kept a journal, like every line would be, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What the hell was I thinking? This kind of worked, but I don't remember how I did it. And this is, in the moment. I'm just making it up as I go along.
Yeah, I don't tend to journal very well, like anything.
No, I don't either.
Like even just note taking in general, it's not for me. So I don't know, maybe pictures or something, or like some other way to document would probably as an album and not as just like roll, in the camera roll.
Well, I pulled out the strike the other, not last night, the night before. And if I was to journal that, it would be leg armor cutting, 15th attempt, third strike kit ruined. Yep, moving on to number 4. I have almost enough leftover parts to make, another kit.
Well, that's kind of good, though. I mean,
well, almost.
Maybe.
Almost. And it's mostly ruined parts, right? Things that I screwed up. A lot of the armor from the, the assault duel, whatever it's called, are the same.
Yep.
So, like, when I couldn't find a strike, I'd buy an assault duel.
I had to buy, oh man, I'm gonna have to look his name up because now I can't think of it while we're on stream. But for the Hayakushiki, when I was stripping the gold plating off, it's like not quite clear, but like this milky color, and I lost some pieces. Like I have no idea where they are.
Straight up. Yeah.
And I had to. Luckily, I was able to find a guy who sells just components, like just individual parts off or individual runners. So I had to buy quite a bit of spare stuff.
Yeah, I got to mute for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Mecha parts guy. Yes, thanks, Lorenz. By the way, hey everyone, what's up, Julio, Thomas Staten, Will? Sorry, we got into the conversation. We didn't acknowledge you guys, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, we had lots of people out there in the audience. We mentioned Alex initially. Did we even mention Alex? We got on.
Yeah. I said something about the doof. But my man's in Tokyo right now.
Oh, straight up.
Lucky SOB.
And Lorenz, Julio, William, Thomas Staten. What is up, dudes? Paul. That guy's a resource, valuable. Share said resource. Oh, golly.
Mecha parts guy. Yeah, he saved me and quite a bit. I actually have just a handful of like even spare, because like if I was missing, let's say like the hand cover or something, I would buy 2 of them because they were like 70 cents for a replacement. So I would buy like whatever he had pretty much. I'll take all of it. And I wasn't smart. I think I did like 3 different orders from him instead of just taking inventory and getting everything. But I would be putting like the legs together and be like, oh, I'm missing that component, and then buy that, and then 2 days later I'd be putting the torso together and be like, oh, I'm missing another thing, and buy it again.
Word. Yeah, that's the hard part though. Like I could use that. Well, so I'm missing a part on the Jesta. I should probably just scratch build it because it's just that easy. But it was missing when I got it. It was a rescue. So
yeah,
I had to take it in, make sure I got its shots, and was like dewormed. It looks great though. It's a fun kit. I'm really glad that I got it because like I probably wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. And that one, it's like that one, and like the Sniper 2 and the Sniper Custom. Those ones really turned me around on Jins. Like the Dingo, I wasn't really hyped on at first. I think just because the hands, I fucking hated the hands.
Got
so
the 3.0 hands. Yeah,
it has the fingers that never grab anything, and they're always like
these
doing
ones,
weird shit.
3.0 hands. I have them in my hand. The problem I found with particularly with that kit is they were way too big for it as well.
They look bizarre.
Yeah.
They're like me.
Yeah,
really big hands.
You're a dingo.
Yeah. I'm a little tall. The Jim's actually pretty short.
Those aren't hands; they're flippers.
But yeah, I agree.
Like
they just don't fit the suit very well. I don't mind them in some things. Like I think they look really great on the Sazabi, and they work really well because that kit is big. But yeah, and sometimes if the suit's too small, they don't really.
They're good on the Stein and the Nanju.
Well.
I feel like they work pretty decent on that, but that's also once again a
big kit.
Yeah.
I just prefer like either ideally, I think especially for a nicer master grade, some sets of fixed post hands are really nice. Like so you can swap. But I also don't mind the like the swappable full set of fingers.
Right, I know what you're talking about. So I got these too. This is I got this at like a Comic-Con. I think it was last year. Julio and I picked these fuckers up. These builder parts, which Comic-Con is right now. Comic-Con is going on in New York. Julio and I are going Saturday. Fucking stuff. But so yeah, these are builder parts, and it says MS Spike 1 and Emotion Manipulator, Principality of Xeon. What the fuck is an emotion manipulator?
I couldn't tell you.
So I looked at it several times, like, what the fuck is this? And then I looked on the back and I was like, oh damn, it's spikes and literally it's fucking posable hands. Right? Yeah. So yeah, but they're Xeon themed, and it's the full on 3.0 hands. But these are actually pretty swanky that they have have them like this. But I know what you're saying. The ones where you can just swap out the full fingers. I also like them where you can do that, where they have the movable thumb. Like
yeah.
Those are usually in with that, right?
It swaps like from like here on like as a one. But like I said, I mean, to me, I would say at a master grade level, I would say at least like just give me
these guys,
3 or so hand options. Like give me a set of open hands, give me a set of holding hands,
right?
And also, if you're gonna do that, please give me multiple covers to go with it, so I can like paint the entirety of the hand and pull it out at the ball joint and put a new one in when you want to be open or whatever. Like I feel like that's not much to ask for at a master grade level.
So when you have to buy 5 kits to customize, you got all the hand covers.
Yes.
Not untrue. I guess I'll talk about my stuff a little bit because it's not going to be as fun as the stuff that Jeff's working on, unless you're not working on anything fun, Jeff. What do you got going on? Big stuff, little stuff, big update?
Big stuff, some almost as big stuff. and then some more after that.
Cool. All right. Well, hang on. Give me a second to go through my spiel. Not that I prepared anything. I have this nice foam. It's got some trimmer string on it, and a bunch of DeLorean parts on one side, and a bunch of Zaku parts on the other. I've been going through. What's that?
Multitask.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't just have one kit. You got to have like 4 or 5 kits on skewers all over the place. At least that's what I do. But I've been going through cleaning up the work that I did last stream when we had Zach around. This is the foot cover, like the top of the foot cover. It looks like a whole foot, kind of, which is kind of cool. But it's just some old parts from some like 90s era Epion. And
make yourself bigger.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's made of 90s era Epion parts right there. You can see the crap inside. I milled it all out so that it fits around the ball joint. I cut off the toe. Pick. It's black, so it doesn't like to focus on it. You can't really see it, but yeah, I cut off the toe, and then I tried to pack it up, and I added some styrene strip around it there on the top to kind of fill it in. But I've just been working on, which seemed to work pretty good for covering the front. As you know, the back of the heel just has this extension.
Yeah.
Right, normal ass extension looks pretty good. The rest of the foot looks pretty decent. I kind of wanted to mess with it, but I decided not to because I don't have a ton of time. I mostly spent time over I had like the long weekend. So I spent time just like cleaning things up. I cleaned this guy up quite a bit. Just like refining the polish on all of those horns on the pauldron and making sure that that's all smoothed out. Scrapers and sanding and filling, and like priming and then sanding it down again. It's what the name of the game has been for me these last week. It's just been like here's the arms. These have, like, as you can see, they're still a little bit rough there inside that reveal. I got to do some more sanding in there because there's that whole section is like a huge bunch of styrene. It's like probably like where's a ruler so I can actually take a measurement. This isn't good that the machine is. Come on. Here we go. It's literally like, is this millimeters? Jesus Christ, it's a lot of millimeters. It's like 7 millimeters of extension on the forearm.
Holy cow.
Because they're stumpy. This is a stumpy little fucking kid.
The Zaku Warrior. Right?
Yeah. So I was thinking about getting another one. They're like $50. I don't know if I want to throw $50 at another one of these things. I can decide tomorrow. Saturday. I'll be at Comic-Con. But yeah, just because like, I mean, and here's the thigh, right? And then this little weird junk down here in that part, that's where I added the first layer, the lower leg layer of height. So that's where the below the knee height came from.
Right. And
that is also, 7 or 8 mils. And then in the thigh, I added another easily 5 to 6 millimeters in the thigh, and then on the biceps too. So like I added another, again, like 4 or 5 mils to extend, and that's all up here in the top, and you can kind of see there's a little check right there.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So I've just been like, and that's all around fill. So especially here, this detail, all the detail on the forearm, like that, all that stuff is just re-sanded and carved in and backfilled. So creating different stuff, like this whole little fin that's on part of it, that doesn't even exist. I made that because there's a bunch of buildup on styrene, and if you don't have that jog, when you would need to like totally reshape the whole arm. So I just made a stylized choice. So it had this like kind of fin here, so I made this one.
Oh, right.
Styrene.
Yeah,
just kind of why that reveal in there looks a little funky, but it'll look okay when it's all said and done. I just got to keep cracking on it. I'm in that phase where it's like prime it to fill it up and then sand it down. Show you a cool little trick. This is why I've been doing this. Why it's all black right now. Several layers. It looks like a ridiculous thing when you sand it down, but what I do is I'll sand it all down. I'll do that right now. I'll just take one of these thighs, sanded, and where's one? It's got some funk. Here we go. got all these stick. Go. I'm just going to switch to the other camera. This is why I have this other camera. The Xbox controller on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, get out of here. I'll be looking for that later. Like, where the fuck did it go? So yeah, you can see I've got some funk going on here. You can kind of see it. It doesn't want to focus on it yet. But I'll just sand this down. And what I did before was when I sanded it last time, I primed it in the gray primer. My gray primer is 1,000 weight primer. The black primer is a 1,500 weight primer, which is a very fine primer. I could go a little bit thicker, but I don't like to go much more than 1,000. When you get down even into 500, it starts to do weird things to some of the tight geometry. So I don't want to too heavy on it. But what I do basically is what you see kind of here. It's coming in. This is with a worn down 320 grit stick. But I'll just come in. And then when I sand it down, because the last thing I sprayed on it was black, the gouges show up as black lines.
It's kind of like a guide coat almost.
Yes, exactly. But the gray primer below it shows me where I last had it kind of smooth to. So this allows me to go through. I mean, it's not really focusing super well, but it allows me to go through and like the main line here, this line right here, this is the scribe line. But like in the center, you can see these two it will focus. There we go. Those two odd chunk marks from the. You can actually kind of see the red of the pinkish color of the plastic. It will focus. There we go. Sort of. It really loves the background. Yeah, so you can see the regular plastic coming through, and then I'll take this and then prime it again. I'll do a more refined sand on it, taking a look at it under light, and if I need to with magnification, and then prime it again, and then sand it again, and then so on and so on and so on. That's how you get to that super duper smooth. Tabs and I have talked about this before. Lots of modelers know about this. It's not anything new, but it's what you do.
Yeah, I was doing that on the big head, but because it's all filler primer, insane amount of sanding. Like if I was using
primer's thick,
right?
Yeah.
So you actually want something like a real guide coat, not just use another filler primer in a different color.
Yeah. So this is that's why I went with the 1,500 weight black, because it's much thinner, and it just puts a thin layer on the top.
I have that. I like pretty well for that. So pretty. The Alcalad has a microfiller primer, and I would say compared to some of the Mr. Color stuff, it's a little thinner. It's not as heavy as the 500, but it's still it's filler, and you can get it in black, and I believe you can get it in a lighter color as well, like a gray.
I haven't had good luck with Alclad, anything other than their paints. Their top coats and their primers are just garbage as far as I'm concerned.
I have the what is it, clear coat? It takes forever to dry. It's really tough when it does dry.
What is that?
Yeah.
Is it?
You can't really see them because of the clear with a K. Yeah, I like the Mr. Color stuff. But anyway, that microfiller primer I've had good luck with. What did I use it on? It was something for metallics, where I wanted to make sure that everything was really well flat. Otherwise, you would have saw the imperfections.
Right on. Yeah, I used to use. I'm not quite done yet. I used to use the all-in-one Krylon rattle cans. They're like a filler primer kind of combo. I used to use the grays and the blacks when I did props, and that's and then I would use that red oxide would be my really heavy filler primer, because that stuff is just heavy. But the other thing that I did in relation to that project, I dropped my thing. I went to, oh my god, I went to storage.
Molds.
It's a lot of silicone. This is a lot of silicone. Ugh. And I cracked these bad boys out, which haven't been used again since 2018. Slap it like salmon, baby. Literally have only been used once then, and then now I pulled them out. And I got myself some sets of swings.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Those are the first two casts. They're a little bit thick. These are the second casts. They're very thin and very light. You remember the ones that I have on the Zaku are very heavy. It's because they're thick, and I only did it a little bit. So a little bit of knowledge. And then I cut these ones to look fancier. As you can see, they look like more style on the edge. And I'll be using all 4 of those wings with Zaku. So that's where that thing's headed.
Zaku Warrior has way more wings than the regular Zaku.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the that's the Zaku Angel of Death from MS Igloo. For those of you that like your Gundams like I do, this one's just like artsy thing. It's going somewhere weird. And I have like an idea in my head. And I have like a lot of sketches that I've made over the years for something kind of like this. So I'm gonna kind of fuck with it and see what happens. Oh hey Pabs, hey Miguel, what's up guys? But yeah, so I'm done, Jeff. Now please fill me in. What's going on?
Well, I got one thing first. So I'm going to show some of my stuff, but not the strike because I'm paranoid about it. So it's back in the box now. But the reason I bring it up is I pulled it out 2 nights ago, like the first time since COVID, right? I finished it in 2017. I showed it at a couple of, I put it in a contest. It was at a show. And the thing was that the Alclad top coat, it never dried. It was tacky. It was tacky when I put it away, probably in 2018. I took it out and it's finally dry. So sitting in the box for 4 years worked. Yay!
Wow.
As you
so
previously
I'll never
mentioned.
use Alclad again.
yeah.
That's wild. Did you experience any like adverse effects of it being tacky when being put away? Like, is there any like hacking, marring, like issues with the top coat?
No, I mean I did more damage to it, posing it at contests and stuff than it did in the box.
Okay.
So it's got some dirt on it, but is what it is.
Sure.
All right. What do we got here? There she blows.
Hey, it's got eyes now.
Yeah, I think I said before I was going to redo the eyes, so I did.
Yes. You even mentioned again on the follow-up episode, which was the last time you were on, where you said, I said I was going to do something about the eyes.
So I did.
Now you've done it.
So these parts are now separate. So they actually plug in. So painting was pretty easy. The eyes are painted. Everything else, the eyes are painted, and the face has actually got the first coat of the white. Everything else is primer, pink primer, black primer, blah blah blah.
Sure.
How
you feel about it?
How do I feel about it? I wish I could have gone. I wish the garage, the weather just stayed nice, and I could have taken it a lot further.
Gotcha.
But now that I'm kind of stuck, I've looked. There's some spots that need more love. So I'll do that over the winter.
Have you thought about using automotive filler at all?
I have been.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll shut up.
I showed it the first time.
Yeah, I asked the same question. I think the first time that if you were using like
cool.
a Bondo or something.
What kind of?
You pull acrylic.
That's right. I remember that. I forgot.
I don't have it.
But now I remember it. I got.
But
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm going to. It's called Capcom. It's the biannual IPMS event.
It's the Baimon Sci-Fi Con.
The Baimon Sci-Fi Con. They alternate between having it here and in Hamilton, Ontario, And it's the first one since COVID. So I think it's the first one since 2019.
Wow.
Damn.
But most of the models I have, like I've already competed with them, and you're not allowed to compete with them twice, right?
Yeah.
So our club, our gun club, local gun club always has a table there. So I'm gonna bring the big head and a bunch of other stuff that populate the table.
Nice. Let's go show your works.
But other than that,
share your stuff at least.
Yeah. Let's get that out of there.
There'll be plenty of talking to be done.
And I don't think I've showed with these little flat plates on.
No, I think last time we were, you were talking about how you did something different. I think to print those.
Yes,
like the original design.
Oh yeah,
that's these parts here. These are held on with those steel rods, right? These still need to be reprinted because what I want to do is this plate right here. I want it to be separable like these guys.
Yeah.
I did some test printing. I am not happy with it yet. So
I was gonna say, out of that, because you said you had that matrix that was gonna be like so thin, you're gonna be able to just break it off.
And it did break off, but the surface quality that came out of it wasn't really what I wanted. It needs some more tweaking.
Gotcha.
Cool, but we'll get there. There's actually another plate that goes here. I've lost it, so I'll have to print another one.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
It makes me feel good that no matter what scale it is, you can still lose things. Huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lose the base, right?
Yeah.
At least I hope so. If I lose the base, well, it's time for me to go to the home.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. There's a lot there.
I feel like if you lose it, someone in your household has taken it from you and they're using it like as a coffee cup holder or something.
Just
Like
hiding it.
Yeah, exactly. Hiding it.
All right. So like really, like that's all that's different with the head right now is some white paint and some pink primer and eyeballs. But I've got some other stuff, which I'll have to move the camera around. So it will take a little bit.
Okay.
I think that's cool to bring to an IPMS. Like if I was there, something like that would catch my eye just because it's so different from what I normally see. You know, like.
Well, I think a bunch of people from my work, like I got cajoled into sharing pictures of it, right? And they're all freaking out, and so they want to come down to the show and see it.
Nerds. That's cool though.
Yeah.
You work with a bunch of nerds.
Yeah. Well, one of our
There's nothing wrong with
developers, she's actually from Japan, so she
sick.
freaked out when she saw it. Oh,
that's cool.
Right. I have to move the camera mount too. Oops.
One thing I'm looking forward to getting at Comic-Con is some of the newer style stands for Gunpla Mecha. I had one in reserve.
Oh, the action bases.
Yeah, the action base is the nice one.
New one?
Yeah, well, no, it's not that new. It's the last time they made it new.
Oh, like 5.
It's like Action Base 5. Yeah. So all I have right now are these. And this one I had to part together from a few different things. And it took me like an hour to find all the parts throughout all the bins because I don't use these shits anymore.
No. I do like the base of those better than the other ones. Like no, I don't like the arms at all, but I mean like just the design of the base, like looking at it, I think is it just looks better than just the pure. What is it, an octagon or is it just a?
They're both. Yeah, I mean they're both octagons.
But like it's got the holes, whatever it is. Yeah. But it just doesn't. It's not like I've seen people like simply just paint those up, and they don't look horrible like compared to.
Right, of course, they have like the style. For those people that don't, everybody should know. But if you don't know, like, these ones have style. They have like raw pieces of styrene on there. They're just ready to fall off. That's why I had it held so weird. It's those there.
Do you think when you build a Gundam helmet, the scale is large enough to start seeing rivets? I mean,
good question. I don't think so. I mean, they're all meant to be smooth, so they don't really have rivets. I don't think.
Right. That's one of those to me. That's like the same thing with weathering. You know, you're like, oh, it has rust streaks, and like you're like, oh, well, would a Gundam rust? You know, I don't know. Like it's just
grime.
It's like it's stylistic. You know what I mean? Like I guess if you wanted to show rivets in some way, it would be cool. But I'm not. Sure. I agree. I don't know if they would use those.
Well, they have
like think about the rivet gun that would have to. The rivet gun would look like his laser gun.
Yeah. Or they would be so, oh man, they'd be so small on something like that size.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Also, the unicorn armor shifts, you know, so like I don't know.
Yeah. I assume that it's all meant to be hidden hardware.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see any of it, and it'd all be like machine screwed together. That stuff is.
But I think if you wanted to, Will, you could.
Sure, you could rip the shit out of it.
I think I've seen them on other ones, but
I've seen a lot of like Zaku's, or not a lot, but I've seen some Zaku's and some other stuff. Maybe more like Volks, or like you know, some of the Votoms shit, you know, like that.
Yeah.
With rivets or with like armor, or like what am I thinking of? Like weld beads. That's what I'm thinking of, like weld beads and stuff like that. You wouldn't really see that on a Gundam because of the size.
I mean, I guess you could use, you know, they have like the metal detail parts, and you get like those little like minus mold rivets and stuff like that. I think at the 6 scale Jeff is working with, like you know, probably the ones that you see people put on like their master grade would probably be more appropriately sized for a 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you would get a whole lot out of them. Really.
Well, you know what I was doing? Dude. I was going through Google image search trying to find pictures of the 1-to-1 head.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of them, but only from really one angle, right? On the ground. So it's difficult to get good detailed pictures of the head. But they have kind of a fastenery thing in places.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
So,
hey, happy man, he's off work.
Since I'm taking the big head to the IPMS, right? Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of old geezers there who don't know what the hell a unicorn is. So I was going to bring the mega size guy, and if I'm going to do that, and I'm already bringing a whip of the big head, I might as well bring whip of my Banshee guy, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Let me hide something here. Right, and this is a picture I took. I don't know, 4:00 this afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Problem is, there was an issue, and right now, this boy isn't together. The hip joints broke. And so right now this is epoxy and it'll be ready to go tomorrow. It'll be ready to go for the weekend, but unfortunately I can't show it together right now. What I can do, if you want, is I can go through some of the changes I had to do to make this a non-destroy mode guy. And basically on the leg, it's chopping things down, right? Like even this guy, you had to take, I don't know if you can see it, but no, you can't. Like on this thigh, right? This distance here, chop, collapse, right?
Right.
Same thing on this guy. So nothing here's glued yet, right? And speaking of, taking the project and putting it aside for a while and then remembering what the heck you were doing, this guy, this was before COVID, right? That, like, all that was chopped out, and then some funky, I don't know what the hell was that, epoxy sculpt maybe? So I don't even remember what I was using. But that actually went well. Collapsing this armor here, was not fun. I don't know how, like Andy did too, right? But I don't think he did the same way as I did. I don't know exactly how he did it.
Right.
But
Did he collapse it or fill it in? I wonder.
No, I think he collapsed it all.
Did he collapse it? He probably did something similar to me. The good thing about this is nothing's glued, eh? So I can take it apart.
Yeah. But I can see where that's tough. Like if you're looking at the destroy mode, behind it, it's not as if it's like one straight ribbon all the way around the thigh of Psycho Frame. Like it's sectioned there, like one part's lower than the other.
Like this was originally one part, right?
Yeah.
And then a funky plastic Psycho Frame part went in there, right? So it's about like that, I think.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to make it fit on the pegs. You probably can't see it, but there's a bunch of pegs removed.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So just leave behind the peg, which luckily was in the exact spot so that this piece of armor fits nice, and it just works.
Great. That's fantastic.
Oops.
Hence the tape. What an undertaking.
See what this thing does?
It looks like it wants to stand up. Really, it's amazing how well it stays together.
It needs the glue step, right?
As stable as every other unicorn I've ever seen.
Not untrue.
Here's the original, the original backpack, right?
The Banshee pack. Yeah.
And then there's
Collapsy.
That was fun, tricky. Actually, I don't know. Was it really that bad? It was getting the flaps that open on the side to fit correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, this was not designed to collapse, right?
No. It was
the
not
challenging
designed to
part
anything.
was with these guys that rotate. Like it won't actually rotate all the way now.
Right.
The problem was you're supposed to turn this.
Right.
I don't have the beam saver on. Well, it doesn't actually work. I had to cut it apart and put a new peg and make a new hole. It's all blue tack.
Okay. Right on.
But I mean, it looks pretty good. It came together nice.
Yeah.
What else? The arms were funky. Let's see. Again, since nothing's glued, right? I can. Yeah, see, I got brass rods.
Right.
Because you had to cut away. Oh, maybe it is glued. Nope.
Just tight.
You had to cut away tons of stuff.
Right.
And
all that salmon on the inside there.
This projected out, right? Because like you see that, right?
Yeah, it extends, pops.
That took forever to just like carefully slicing things off until the parts fit together. Shoulders. I'm not really happy with the shoulders. I don't know what I'm going to do, but the other arm's probably better. This is the destroy mode shoulder. Just this chopped off, and then you have to carefully, and you have to chop off, like cut this part off, and then make it fit, and then where is it? A ton of stuff in here has to get hogged out to make it fit.
Right.
But the real challenge, and the waist was nothing. It was easy.
Gotcha.
The two real challenges are one that's achievable because I've done it is the torso, right?
Right.
Obviously, nothing's glued. The two real challenges are because I'm doing a Banshee, right? The Banshee collar there is funky dunky. This head is from the 148 HG base.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The collar from the HG base doesn't fit. It's not the right size. It doesn't. It's truncated because it's a base, right?
It doesn't have that angle to it either.
Yeah, The angle's sort of okay, but it kind of ends here.
Gotcha. Can you section it? Like, can you cut it across?
I have tried. I'm probably going to try and 3D print something.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Throw it into the machine and throw a bunch of hours at it.
Yeah, and the reason this thing's been sitting is because 3 years ago my ability to use CAD was crap. Hopefully it's a bit better now. And the other challenge
You have had some hours. So those big old clodhoppers.
Yeah. I don't have it handy, but I have somewhere a foot. I bought like 3 of these kits, right? I've destroyed a foot trying to just hack it into non-destroy mode.
Destroy mode. Double down. Destroyception.
Get a number on it.
Destroyception. That's it.
So probably something 3D printed, like either something a 3D printed foot or some kind of jig to hack things out of styrene or something. I don't know. And then I don't know. I've got like a DeWalt thing full of the debris.
Oh wow!
I know you can't see that, but it's the debris of all the attempts to do things.
Yeah, the parts for little greeblies and I got a bunch of those.
Well,
it's pretty
mega size, so it's big old greeblies.
Yeah, I have 2 mega size Zakus that were cut apart. I actually went to look for the hip joint because it looks similar to some of the stuff for the mega size Zaku, but I remember that I cut all those up and threw those all at the Regal that we were talking about earlier, and I did all the conversion on that.
And then stuff falling everywhere. I'm just going to show a couple things that I'm going to bring to the show on Saturday.
Sure.
That I don't think anybody's seen live or close up. There's the Clear New.
Nice. Now, Paul and I have had the luxury of seeing the Clear New before.
Yes.
Have I done it on the stream?
No, but in the Discord, homie.
All right. I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing it. Obviously, I didn't go like everyone else does. Like I actually painted some parts.
Yeah, I think it looks. I like it like that personally.
I also.
Yeah, because like you look at like the art they use to sell it, or people who just build it and like I don't know, paint the frame, but it's not really special, right? It looks like just like a ghost. Yeah. And so I had to go further. Plus, it doesn't really show anymore because it's been I dusted it, so it's actually looking pretty good now. But it's not where it was because I hand polished all of these clear parts.
Mm-hmm. You're very glutton.
Yeah, never doing that again. Metal decals. I still have a mechanical clear Sananju that I haven't done yet.
I had a remember I had that Hainu for the longest time. That Hainu heavy weapon system.
Yep, I had it too, and I sold it.
Yes, and I also I actually traded mine off for kits. So fantastic.
So there's that guy. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of WoW, but I really like him. But this is my WoW kit.
That is a WoW kit too.
Yep.
Where's little purple?
Oh, he's around.
Hiding.
I don't know if I'm gonna bring him though because I don't remember why I did it, but I took his hands off, and because it's plated in the tolerances, they both broke.
Oh fuck.
So I got to get replacement hands.
God, that is a sexy sheen though. Oh,
shiny.
So cool looking.
So nice, man. Hey, Chris Collins. That is.
You like that
it looks
more
like
than the red one? I like the red one.
oh, the red one's traditional. The finish on the purple one, dude. It just like it looks like it's in. This looks like that's some like old like 80s era fantasy movie shit, like some fucking
Yeah, it looks like instead of a mobile suit, it's like a mechanical knight or something like that. It's kind of wild.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is that movie I'm thinking of too? Oh fuck, not Dragonlance, Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie. It's got that. It's like they did the Vaseline filter on the entire movie, and all the lights, all the highlights, just like shine. It looks crazy. This thing just like glows. It's gorgeous.
The thing is that like the purple armor, like I didn't do anything to it, right? Actually, I think I tried to cover some nub marks and with mixed success.
Right.
But like there's no top coat on or anything. It's just built as is. The red one has an automotive 2K clear.
Oh,
and to tell you the truth, in person, the red one pops more than the purple one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely take the red one.
I mean, personally, I think that's one of the best looking mobile suit designs in all of Gundam. It's just so cool.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's my favorite baddie.
Yeah.
I like the Stein, but it's the same thing, but it's a little less pointy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Essentially the same. I know.
I like both. And I still think the narrative Stein is one of the best kits you can buy.
Oh,
because
dude,
not
100%.
only is it a great build, but you get like 1 3/4 Steins in the box. So
it gives you so much to work with.
Yeah, if you need parts like that's your kit, man.
Here's Mr. Leftover Strike Guy. Like all the mistakes and parts that I screwed up are on this guy.
Nice. He's the trash man.
Yeah. Jeff, is that's Sinanju? That's just the regular one, or is that the one with the what is it? Takumi?
Oh,
the regular. I don't like the design of the Takumi.
Okay.
I have that actually.
I just couldn't remember if the spikes
is a
were
little
that big
busy,
on the
but
regular one. Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, those are spikes, baby.
I have my I just saw that the other day. I went into deep storage. I'm gonna steal the screen. I was in deep storage looking at all my shit. And I realized that it's coming up to be spooky season and I should have some fun. And there's a show coming up in Long Island which does all sorts of crazy shit. So I'm gonna redo the paint job and finish up this guy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
The old Flacker. Borderlands 2, for those of you that don't know. This does come out. It's magnetized. It's probably like, how old is it? Gotta be careful. I don't want to break it. There we go. Yeah, it's got a metal plate on it, and then there's a big ass magnet in there. Yeah.
Stay away from people with heart pacemakers.
Yeah. And right. Here we go. And I couldn't. So it's missing two things. There's a shield that goes on the side. It fits into a pin. This is a metal pin that's cast into the rotocasted body. This is all hollow, so it's light. Even though it's really heavy, it's fucking light for what it is. So I dug around and I found a 4-pack of the shotgun shells that I made for it. And I have the molds too, but the problem is when they get cast, you have to turn the ends down on a lathe. So that's one thing I don't have anymore. And this is a 4-pack, and there are 5 slots for the shells.
Well,
so as you see, they fit in there.
One's been used.
Somewhere I have a 5-pack, and I have 2 shields and more. So somewhere I think I have. So I have like a few other places I need to look. There's like a thing up in the attic I need to go dig in, and there's a thing in the shed I need to go dig in, and I think there's a footlocker in the bedroom that I need to go dig in.
Well, I mean, having 4 shells for a 5-round clip is like the ILM philosophy, right?
Oh, sure.
Like if a ship has visible escape pods, there's always one missing, right?
Yeah, there should be. One is gonna be, yeah. Good call. Very good call. But as fun as this does look, it doesn't look terrible. Like it's very drab It needs to be like I need to video gamify it, so that's going to be kind of fun. Yeah, and it's
I've got
just dirty.
What is that? There was a big funky plastic kit of like a Zaku and an RX that people put in stores. Was it 112 or 124?
Yeah, 112.
Yeah, I've got the Zaku machine gun, and
ooh, I always wanted one of those. Right?
One of the local places by me had the RX-78 for a while.
Yeah, nice. I got it Banzai Hobby New Year's in a lucky bag.
Oh, the one that's above gun? That's kind of rad.
Yeah, it came with their stuff, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, a Heat Hawk. And,
yeah.
And a Xeon flag.
Sweet.
That's gentlemen,
my shit right there.
Oh, you gotta go run? Yeah, I gotta go make an airport run. So,
all right.
Awesome.
You guys have a great night.
Drive safe.
Be good, everyone.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We'll see ya.
Just trying to
Hey, Julius. How you doing? Yeah. So the wings that I cast, I did them in Onyx. It's fast, so that it would kick off. It kicks off in like 15 minutes. You can demold in like 20. And they're still a little pliable, which is cool because you can kind of like deal with like feathers and stuff a little bit better. But
for demolding, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked out pretty good. There's a couple of spots where there's some air bubbles and shit, but this mold is like, that's the problem with any something thin you're gonna have without any. It's like doesn't have any real extra gating. I did these like as fast and loose as I could. The molds are part of the reason they're so big is because a lot of the bulk of it is cut up other molds that recycled, Yep. And like have you ever cut a mass of silicone into tiny little chunks? It is because they can't be too big, and they also can't be too small. Because if they're too big, they're not going to fit around the model or the piece that you're trying to mold. And if they're too small, then they fucking get air bubbles in between them. So unless, I guess, of course, if you're degassing or if you're pressurizing, then you can push the air out or crush them, crush the air out. But I guess you also need good gravity. You can't do that shit on the moon.
I've heard of people using like meat grinders to grind up their old molds.
Oh, sure. I can see that. That would give you a weird consistency, right? Yeah, it would be an odd consistency, I think of. But it would work, I suppose.
I mean, all your bits would be the same size, though, right?
True. Yeah, but I worry about. I guess you can adjust the chop, right? So that would be what you would basically do. You go with a coarse chop.
Yes, I am not a grinder expert. Anyway,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want it to be like too fine, or then it's a pain to deal with. But I've recycled a lot of molds. It's kind of fun when you're using like clear silicone. There's this one silicone that Smooth On came out with that I bought during the pandemic and made some molds for the Full City, and I reused old parts that I was just like cutting up old silicone, whatever was like around, clean up the house, kind of shit, and anytime that I would pour something silicone at the old shop where I had the big space, I would save the buck of silicone that was left over, whether it be like a half of an inch, sometimes maybe closer to an inch thick, in the bottom of the mixing vessel. Silicone that you don't pour out, right? Yeah, so that stuff just like all settles, and you end up with these pucks of silicone, cutting those into little pieces anyways. But so using the clear silicone, it's kind of cool because then you get all these little cubes of different colored molds in the other clear silicone. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I used to make little pucks and stick knives and hobby knives.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. You can also slap someone with one. Whack.
Whackety whack.
Yep. So feeling pretty good about this. I don't have a lot of time. I got like 2 weeks left, right? And I haven't even. I'm like still refining. So, it's gonna be interesting. I think I should be able to get there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I just gotta. It's really just a couple of parts that are troublesome with the finish, and I just need to, keep working on them. That's the thing. You can't not work on them. And as fun as Starfield is to play, I got responsibility. It is super fun to play, though.
Oh, I screwed that up. Just putting my leg back together. It's been 3 years. I'm trying to remember how it goes back together.
Yeah, I mean, Paul was mentioning. I think it was last. I don't know. I think it was last show. We were on. He was talking about how he had to get instructions out to figure out or remember how to put something back together, or take it apart for that matter. And I had a panicked moment when he had said that, because I threw away all of my my old boxes. I was saving all of the boxes from all the models that I was making for a long time. And for a while there at the beginning, I was really excited to build, and I built like so many models. So I had like 100 boxes. Get to be in time to move, and you start to realize what's important and what's not important. And as cool as some of the art and stuff on that is, and as much of a like nerd badge of honor as it is to have like a big ass collection of boxes of your whatever, had to throw them out. And I panicked when he was talking about that. Like, did I throw out my instructions? And then I remembered, no, I have a shitload of instructions stored.
I put all that stuff in Ziploc bags now and get rid of the boxes.
Yeah.
If I got a runner with a beam sander I didn't use, or I didn't use all the stickers, they just go in the bag with the manual. Actually, to clean the clear dude, I actually did pull out the manual, because there were parts coming off and I didn't remember how to put them back on right.
Oh yeah.
The new doesn't sit well. The flying base it comes with. You can stick the funnels and all that junk. Yeah, it doesn't really hang there well anymore. It's got a little too much of this.
Yeah, a little too much jiggle, huh?
Yeah. It's not as tight as built.
Aren't we all?
Oh. I think I've misplaced a part of this guy. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
It's here somewhere. Oh no, it's already attached. Duh.
Well, it's the alternative.
Duh.
Better than losing it, I'll say.
Yeah, I gotta glue these things.
Where was I? Go. Yeah, I'm just pin filling with super glue. Good old cyanoacrylate.
Yeah, I was doing that on the big head for some things because after a couple rounds of putty and a lot of sanding and a lot of filler primer, I still seeing joints. It was pissing me off. Like I didn't have the long joints anymore. It was they look like kind of like pinholes at the end. Get it with the freaking glue.
Just looking back at Julius's comment from a couple minutes ago. Yeah, definitely. That's an old maker trick for recycling molds, because silicone doesn't stick to anything but silicone, really. So yeah, just recycle it. I wash it. Obviously make sure that it's clean on the outside before you want that gunk in there.
It has the same properties as new silicone, but you don't have to pay for it a second time.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at the molds that I even have here, you can see that I cannibalized one because it was way too big. Here. and it's unnecessary for it to be. And this is even this is like 1.5 inches almost, or an inch or whatever. Way too much silicone. I just didn't want to have to deal with backers, and then I still have to use wooden backers. Try to do it fast, but here's the thing. So I did this in my apartment. Plates of aluminum, because I work at a metal shop. I got all sorts of different plates of metal now, which is awesome. So plate of aluminum, made of wire armature, sculpted the wings out of clay, right? 2 wings standing up like this, side by side on this thing. And then I molded them in place. So I built the box up off of the aluminum base with like hot glue and whatever, and then I just like started pouring and filling, and it was like the wings had like a depth to them like this, so it was like it wasn't just like a flat piece. It it had body, so I couldn't just make it flat. I couldn't contour it. It wasn't like I was able to take it as like a sculpted form. Like most of the stuff that I made prior, that I made molds from, has either been like made from metal and wood and putty and epoxy putty and stuff like that. That's all been like refined and made into a hard buck that then can be like fucked with clay and do all the normal stuff to make like a fancy fucking matrix mold or a nice just regular 2-part mold or whatever.
Right.
But in this instance, I had to try and mold something that was a vertical thin thing, so they ended up being pretty decently sized molds in the end. And just cutting them down just to trim the fat, because it's so heavy.
You erred on the side of caution.
Just cutting down the side, because like this was a solid block of silicone with a wax, or not wax, but a monster clay. So that stuff is like a polymer clay or whatever. Like, so it's kind of a wax. The clay wing inside of it, and I had to cut it all open by hand. So cutting.
What hardness the monster clay do you have?
I have it's the medium is what I have. The soft stuff is like real soft. The hard stuff is like real hard.
Yeah, I know. And the soft stuff, you just can't get in Canada for some dumb reason.
Oh.
So yeah, I have a tub of the supposed to be medium, but it ain't.
They fucking. Oh, it's not?
Well, it says medium, but holy crap, it's hard.
Oh, sure. Well, once you work it a little bit, you can stick it in the microwave. If you need to. But it does last. I have 2 arms that I sculpted. I have that little Dark Souls bust, which is like Solaire and the Onion Knight, Sigmar or Sigward. And they're doing the cheers with the mugs of beer, and they have their arms around each other. It's a real jovial little like thing that like you could potentially put on your desk, right? So I sculpted the main part. I sculpted it all out of clay, out of the monster clay. I molded the main part of it, and I didn't mold the arms. I kept the arms. I meant to mold them. I had them like in cups, like suspended, so that I could just pour silicone in and make really super simple dump molds.
Yep.
But I didn't do it, and then they got dirty, and then they got fucked up, and then so whatever. But I found them. I still have them. They're in a fucking like wrapped up in a bag, and they still look pretty good because that clay can get really hard if you don't like.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm grateful. So.
Yes, well, I mean, my workshop basement is well suited to having monster clay stay as is forever.
Nice and chilly.
I lost a piece. It's around somewhere.
It's also a problem with your workshop space.
Yeah, there's so much crap in here. Actually, last night it tumbled off of this filament dryer and landed in this pile of boxes. So the part's in there somewhere.
Oh, fuck me. That's rough, brother.
Yeah, it's a story of my life.
Wow. But, it's the truth. That's the way it's going to go.
Yep. It's okay. I have a couple more of these stands somewhere. in the stash. who the hell knows where?
Oh man, you need like an assistant.
I need a bigger space.
I bet the size of your hobby space rivals the size of my entire house.
Oh, I don't know about that.
How big is your hobby space?
It's notionally 20 by 15, but there's one side of it, probably 4 feet of it, is a closet that goes all the way down the length of the room.
Oh, that's cool. Good plenty of storage.
That's stash number 3.
Yeah, this place is so 20 by 15, you say? That's like 300 square feet. That's about half the size of my house. So
oh yeah.
Little tiny house.
Well, when you live rural,
great view. Fantastic view.
Yeah, I got no view.
I'm not
complaining. In the
complaining.
country, you can get a bigger place, right?
Oh, I know.
Well,
I used
that's
to live
not
in
true
the
anymore. Fucking real estate here is stupid.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were talking about this, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like a little while ago.
Just down the
Some of that
road,
shit's crazy.
like, house that's about the size of mine's like $1 million.
That switch was wild to me, because coming from Iowa, where you could, when I growing up, people could build a house for $100,000, less than $100,000. If you built $100,000 house, you had a nice fucking house. Like, it was nice house. Now it's like crazy. Like, my little teen tiny house is worth so much money. It's ridiculous, just because that's how real estate is. Or it's not even mine. It's like my wife's house or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so when you're rural, if it's new build, it's premium price, right? It was built in 1983 like mine. It's still a hell of a lot more than I paid for it, but it's not at the same levels. But the same house, not primo 1983 in the city. Whew, oh my God. Millions.
Yeah, the city stuff is wild. Living in Brooklyn.
I'm not even talking about New York. I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah, you get like derelict brownstone with like leaky roofs and holes in it and all this fucking shit, and like half collapsing. 2 million easy. Like, what the fuck? And then like the really nice ones. I remember the first time I worked on like a really, really nice place. This guy was on like 22nd Street. He had a huge apartment. It was the penthouse apartment. We were doing pocketed aluminum doors. He had 12-foot ceilings. So the doors were 11 foot tall or 11 foot long, aluminum, hollow. And they were to separate the kitchen from like the main dining hall from when he would host parties, so that the help wouldn't be seen, like that style, like almost like a dumbwaiter, and it had like all these extra doors. It was crazy. The guy was nuts. I think he was one of the guys that like made money by selling money or something like that. He was like a funds transfer kind of guy.
Banker,
but anyways,
dude.
that place was like probably like 20 something million or something like that for that place. It was insane.
Yeah, I can't even like
they suck.
Doesn't even compute for me, right?
Dude, I know. That's insane to think about. Yeah. But I mean, I had a really crazy job when I worked at that place. I got to work on a lot of really cool things, a lot of like art, like stuff that I probably shouldn't have been able to touch, but have a certain set of skills. And so they let me touch the art. And yeah, like I've worked on some crazy shit, which is pretty cool. Did you extend that shoulder peg, or what is that?
Yeah, it's a crappy extension. With the shoulder collapsed, it doesn't fit on the peg anymore. Let's get you to show that. Yeah, it's a pretty. Actually, the extensions aren't even. see how close that is with the extension. So it didn't go before. It didn't go on the peg enough, so it was just falling off all the time.
Oh, odd, but all right. Interesting. It's quite the undertaking. It's cool though to bring whips. I never really thought about that until sort of recently, in lieu of all the weird drama and stuff that's been going around, realizing and thinking about how I perceived going to shows and what shows are, and having like wonderful experience at the MFCA show last year, and kind of like all of the conversations and being a part of some of them and being able to listen to the rest of them it's been really valuable, and kind of like changing the way that I look at these kind of like events, shows and stuff. I want to do more like focus on just kind of like showing fun things and less like, and trying to do even more talking and less like worrying about making something that will judge well, or any of the things that have kind of always been in the corner of my mind, even if like you're not hunting trophies, but you want to do well, but sacrificing the fun creative stuff or wanting to have a model that's going to get judged well is like, to me, like sucks all the fun out of it. That sucks the fun out of it for me. So,
yeah, I'm no interested in being judged ever. Everything I've shown today, thinking about it, and everything you haven't seen today, it's got stuff that would drive judges crazy. You look at the hands on the new, those are nubs, and I don't care. It doesn't detract from what's the impact of looking at that clear thing with all the cool little colors underneath, right? Do you give a shit if there's nubs? You shouldn't.
No, yeah.
But I mean, as far as seeing the models that I've got in Meat Space, the only people who ever do are the people at the local Gumpla Club, Gumpla Ottawa, right? So if you want anybody else to see them, this is really the venue to do it in this city.
Yeah.
And it's only every 2 years.
Makes it even bigger, even better, potentially. Yeah. Which is cool. Yeah, and the guys at Hamilton are pretty good. IPMS is starting to sort itself out. They got a long, bumpy road ahead of them, but interested to see how it goes.
I think the drama's in the U.S. IPMS.
Drama's always in the U.S.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, if there is drama, I haven't heard
people got too much time on their hands.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I mean, it gets funny. It's a little sad at times. Dude, people take it so seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, like taking it seriously or taking yourself so seriously, but then like just being a total fucking worst person or like doing the most shady, underhanded shit, and then being like, but I'm the best, and it's just like, man, that's not what it's about. Let's change the guard a little bit, figure something else out. I like the idea of juried exhibitions, like I like the gold, silver, bronze kind of like award system, whether or not you get anything for that, just because it allows you to kind of meter where you are in your progression, where you think you are. So it's much more valuable to see if you got any sort of like merited certificate or anything like that. And then a lot of times at these events, you can speak with judges if it's possible, but that's really the hardest part, is getting that like feedback. I'm interested to see how these things are going. There's like some stuff coming down either soon or just did with like the post-it note thing. Have you heard about this? I think the Model Geeks had started that. No. Where they got like a bunch of post-it notes, and they would have like 3 boxes on it or whatever, and then it would say like, construction, paint, finish, whatever, something like that, and it would like, you could like check off the box as to where the person needed to work on their thing and like put it on their stuff. So like if their model wasn't like had too many points against it or whatever, they could see like, well, like what did I do that didn't get me do well? Like I thought I did really good, and they were like, oh well, you could be like you had issues with your decals, and you give you the opportunity like, oh well, I need to go and take a look at my decals, see what I'm seeing, and then try to figure out what I'm doing, where I'm seeing
so
the wrong
this is
thing.
like an insurgency at IPMS events?
No. This is the Model Geeks had their own thing that's set up. They like set up their own like show, and I don't know. There was a show that went down PAXCon recently. You probably don't know about it. It's an American thing in Maryland, and that went down. And I think they were going to do something about that there potentially, but I don't know. I mean, this is all hearsay. So I just think that even the bare minimum level of like feedback or helping course correct a modeler, trying to do their thing, I feel like that's way more valuable than any little trinket.
You don't have to have 1, 2, 3 judging to get to do that if you want to do it, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. Absolutely not. And the whole 1, 2, 3 judging, like, and I think Meddings puts that thing best, in my opinion, and that would be that it's like a race to the bottom. You're like you're trying to point out what's wrong with models and then to cast it aside, instead of like the reason we build models is to share them and have them observed in their entirety, and like and as a piece. Like you don't just like, you're not walking down the aisle at a model show and being like, oh, that I'm not going to look at that model because it's I can obviously see that the landing gear is crooked on that one, or like whatever, I can see the decal is crooked on that one, I'm not going to look at that model, that's stupid, get it out of here. Like not really like saying that, I'm paraphrasing, I'm putting things into words, but it's kind of that mentality where they're just like shuttling things out of the way so that they can try and focus on just 3 models out of a potential sea of like 40, or sometimes only a sea of 4, so it's like it's a race to the bottom in a weird way. And while I get that that's an easy way to add merit, to add those awards, it's a really easy way to get there. I don't think that's necessarily the biggest help for growing the community, if that's what people want to do. So if they don't want to grow the community, that's fine too. So, but
so
I gotta
like
get
first place is the least wrong of all. It's
not
the best, just the least bad.
Right. It doesn't even have to have like a cool theme or like, whatever, like it be bold or like whatever, and I get that they do think about a lot of things, and it isn't as base as I, make it out to be. But there could definitely be a bit of a change to it. I know this is all hashed over 1,000 times, so I don't need to go on about it anymore. But that's why I'm adding wings to my fucking soccer.
I mean, I love going to the event at the War Museum because you have a table full of Panzer tanks next to a Panzer tank, a real one.
Pretty cool.
And it's like, hey, look, you can actually count the rivets on it.
Yeah, if you really wanted to, yeah. But that's pretty sweet. I like that they have that in the big museum, and they're like so open to public, and that's pretty rad. It'd be rad to get up there, but that's quite a stretch for this guy.
Someday I'll have to do it.
Yeah, should. If they ever like make flight affordable again. Why did the mail and flying places suddenly become so uber expensive? It's just ridiculous.
Just like everything else.
Yeah, right.
Like grapes, or like a half a pound of grapes here is like $15.
Oh, Judas. That's insane. I mean, they're probably not in season right now per se, but
probably. I'm not the grape eater. It's my wife, so she would know.
You just have to deal with the other end of it. I see.
I get to deal with damn it, the damn grapes went up again.
Yeah. You less on the demand side, more on the supply side. You have to.
Yep.
Yeah. Not so bad. All right. Should probably be sanding more. I sanded one leg and do shit. Laziest guy in the room. This guy.
Tomorrow I gotta figure out how to pack the big Zaku.
Oh, nice.
Because it's going too.
I was wondering if you were going to take that, but I don't want to pry.
I don't know. It weighs a ton, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I've got a half printed Yamato hull. I'm gonna bring that too.
Oh, right. I remember when you were doing that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then I don't know if I'm gonna bring this guy. It's my S Gundam Bash booster type. Super booster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
that's a good one.
it's dusty. Really dusty.
Of course. Tell me about it. No, I came across my my Sentinel project, which is my XS 303 bash, and also the Zaku shield cast off parts that you had sent to me that I'm going to use as part of the base or as the base for the Sentinel. So I put all of those together when I was doing the deep storage boogaloo. It's a funny dance. Oh man, and isn't it always like that? I was in storage. I'm going through everything. I took a picture of. I have I think it's officially 15 cases, but it's a stack that's like when it's all stacked up, it's 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide of stack. And oh hey Doku, what's up, dude? And so I'm in storage and I'm going through stuff, and I realized that, so I want to take the shotgun out, and it's one of the first things in the storage unit, so that was out. Anyways, I'm going through and I'm putting everything back in. I load all these cases back in. I'm actually went even back into the molds. I dug out the wing molds, got them out. Oh, Jeff. Oh no.
That's fine.
Okay. So I got the wing molds. I got everything out. I put it all back in there. These boxes all weigh a lot of fucking pounds. And then I'm looking at the shotgun, and I realize that I don't have the shells and I don't have the side wing. So I'm like, so they got to be in with the mold stuff, which is the very back of the storage unit. So I pulled everything back out of the storage unit to get to the very back of it, to find out that I could only find the 4-pack of shells. So
yeah, that's like me finding anything in this basement.
It's always like that. There, I'm done. It only took me an hour. Oh, wait. I need one thing. And it's in the ass end of the back of the unit. That's okay. My cat is awesomely hilarious. She, every time she runs around, because she's still a kitten. So she's, charges around and hunts us and does fun stuff, but she trills all the time, so she's always when she's running around, just a little, I don't know, it's fun. It's nice to have a cat in the house again.
We got 3 of them.
Yeah,
one of them thinks he's God's gift to the world.
Nice.
The other one is a princess, and the third one, she's not that young anymore, but she's weird. She's like a squirrel in a cat suit.
Okay.
She's just bonkers. Just bouncing off the walls and twitchy.
Sure.
Very twitchy.
Nice.
Squirrel in a cat suit. Yeah.
We also have squirrels that frequent the house. They don't live in the house. They frequent.
Well, they gotta tell them to get a cat suit. And they can live with you.
We have one squirrel that hangs out with Colleen outside. If she's outside, it'll come over and just chill out with her. That one's name is Pancake.
Oh, you name him, eh?
He does. I named one, actually. We had one that was it was a male squirrel, and he was coming around, and he was a just a nutter. He was just a wild boy. He would like climb your leg or like do weird shit. He's like, he was real twitchy, and I called him Roger.
Roger.
Yeah, just seemed fitting.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, he was a nut.
I gotta clean up this space.
I understand.
This table, this is a printer I'm building, and I don't want to build it anymore. I want to get rid of it.
No. Well, you could do that though.
I want the space back.
You could probably sell that though.
Shipping, no. I have to find somebody local, and that's difficult, right?
Yeah. Facebook Marketplace.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a 3D printer that's not finished. You want to build it? I'll give you all the parts.
Some people would be into it. You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah.
Mike, was it Mike Basquette on the Classic Model Mojo just picked up just got a washing station. Some girl on Facebook Marketplace was selling her whole setup because she was upgrading, and she was just going through a whole different thing. So he got like a whole washing station and like all this extra stuff, but he didn't need the printer. And so then she was able to then potentially just sell the printer and have a better time than trying to sell the whole package of all the thing. Doku's just saw your unicorn. Apparently she's missed all the other shows.
There you go.
Yeah, that's 1-6.
Here, I'll put
you back on solo.
I've got my reaction Zaku.
Oh yeah, put your for scale.
Hold on, I'm handheld right now. It's kind of fucking me up.
Don't hurt yourself or your models.
I'm not gonna hurt the models, but
don't hurt yourself. I threw out my back on your screen.
I hit this guy. You'll see him in a second.
Trying to jockey.
I can't do it with one hand, but I had the perfect oh my god pose.
Speaking of the kitten, Colleen and the kitten are playing right now. Colleen's crawling around on the ground.
Yeah.
Being a nerd.
A little dark.
And that's a high grade or a real grade, Zaku?
That's a real grade. I can get him.
Oh, nice.
Maybe get him to ride. Yeah, I'm caught at the end of my cable here.
Tether. Nice.
It's like, what was that movie, Never Ending Story, where the kid's riding that weird dog snake thing?
It's a luck dragon, actually.
Okay.
And its name is Falcor.
That was like a drive-in movie only thing for me.
Sure. Well, when I was a little kid, it was
Did you lose my picture?
What? No.
Oh. Wireless. Get out of here. My microphone isn't wireless, though. That's the problem. Yeah, you guys haven't seen it from this side.
Well, I mean, it's the same as the other side. It's just this side.
Yeah, but the light's different. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I don't think I can get him right on top.
Yeah, Alicia, this has been a long project for Jeff, and he's been giving us updates every couple of weeks.
Yep, and it'll be pretty dormant until the spring when I can spray in the garage again.
Just because of Mother Nature.
Yeah, it's freaking cold. I think it's probably going to be... It's turned cold early this year. I can only remember, so I've been living in Ottawa since, grade 1. I only remember like 1 or 2 times it snowed on Halloween, and I think it's going to happen this year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's wild. growing up in Iowa, it always rained on Halloween.
Yeah, that happens fairly frequently. I think we had like freezing rain once too.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever had. It's hard to say. It's been a long time since I lived there. So here, living on the coast, man, it's so fucked. We don't get snow. We don't get. I mean, they do in the city and they do like inland, but like right here, directly on the shore, we don't get anything that sticks.
Really?
Yeah. But what we do get is like constant 25 to 35 mile an hour winds. So it is cold still. But the white Christmases that I grew up with that I love, not for me. No.
I'm just shocked that I was able to do the camera wireless. Now, if I had a wireless microphone, I could go through this door and a whole new world would appear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the laser is. That's where the big printers are.
I maybe have seen photographs of this through Discord.
You've probably seen pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's stash number 3.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that healthy closet. Fantastic.
Goes all the way back.
All that space. I'm so jealous. I had to build a shed just to have room to store my extra shit. My tools and stuff.
Well, I've slowly, like, this was not my space for the longest time. And I've slowly been taken over.
The idea is that I'm not taking over the inside of the house with the shed. But that being said, it's still been a whip. It's still going slow.
There's a bunch of stuff in here I've even forgotten I owned. These are all studio scale kits. Greeblies.
Oh, sure. Stuff for the Star Wars kits.
Yeah. And this is a cast set to make a Star Wars escape pod. I haven't even opened that one.
Nice.
And then I said I had 3 of the Mega Uni Goods. I just found this guy today. That's another one.
Jeez.
There you go. I'm stupid. You know what happened, eh? I screwed up so many parts on the strike and bought so many strike kits that when I thought, you know, I'm going to do this unicorn version of this dude. I'm like, I'm going to screw up so many parts. So I'm just start buying kits.
It's stocked up.
Yep. Oh, jeez. Somewhere, you know that Kshatriya we're never going to build?
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Nice. I started on it.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's over here. It's in the active stash. It's actually right behind me.
I'm trying to think.
But it's still just right there. Chris also started working on it as well.
Yeah.
Tom Stetton, anyone tried out the RoboCop Rogue City demo yet? I did not remember that there was a RoboCop game. And that is my answer. And I'm pretty sure that Jeff doesn't play video games. But I don't know about the rest of the chat. I don't know about the rest of the chat. Cutting sanding sticks into smaller sanding sticks. Very meta.
Oh, look, unmarked resin. I wonder what that is.
Who's the manufacturer?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a head. Unicorn head. 135.
Just when you thought you were.
Just when I
thought
was,
you were
thought it was going to be free. It's got
Yeah,
LED too.
Every time I think I'm free, they drag me back in.
Yeah, actually, he had a set of heads, and I bought them all. This one just doesn't seem to be marked. Like we got Phoenix, Unicorn, Suzabi, Sinanju.
Oh, sure.
And there's more. Somewhere.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
Spooky
because
season.
I know there's a new and a Sinanju, right? Sort of like good guy, bad guy sets, you know?
Sure. Gotcha. I could see that as being a thing.
Yeah, this whole shelf, except for these 3 kits, are all resin.
Here we go. Thomas Satin saying that the RoboCop game is on Steam. I do not play games on Steam either.
Steam has ditched the Mac, so even if I wanted to play, I can't.
Motherfuckers. This sucks. Not gonna lie. Trying to or dealing with sanding this homemade reveal in here with this fucking and
Oh. So that whole shelf is resin, and I see something 3D printed.
Uh-oh.
That's kind of cool.
Uh-oh.
It's an ARC 78 bust.
I
I forgot I had that. I printed it. That's from Loot Box. Same guy as this.
Nice. Right. Looks like a model shop over there with all the Hazel shit.
Yeah. My Advanced Zeta addiction is apparent.
Yeah. I had a pile of Hazel stuff for a little while. I kind of liquidated a little bit of it. Or at least passed it on to a better home.
Yeah, I don't know why I bought 2 of everything.
Because all that stuff has to be used like in doubles for most of it. Like at least or you'll need like 2 of, a weird aspect of something.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got 2 of the regular Haru-do-do-do-do-do, and then 2 of the dark colored ones. Like,
well,
who
that's
cares,
just in
right?
case
Just
you want to
paint
do
it.
the other real. Yeah, I suppose. Look, it's like an investment, okay? You got to think about it. You got to think about it in as bright of light as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Someday,
What the hell is that? Model
it's
bingo.
going to be important.
Oh yeah, these are the not that one. This one. Those are the convention limited, show limited guys.
Oh, right. Pabs is look, listen, Pabs. Come on, buddy. Get your shit together. Do resin news. Just kidding. He's not ready to do resin news. One of these days, though, Pabby, you got to get back on here and do some resin news.
Yeah, baby.
The people want it. They want it in their eye holes, in their ear holes, in their brain holes.
I'm still waiting. I saw that pre-order for the Josh Dara Zeta.
Mm-hmm.
Still sitting there waiting.
I was thinking about him. Excuse me. The other day, looking at all these mecha parts here. Had all the stuff out working on the Zaku, and I saw this from the old Suzabi, or not Suzabi. Yeah, so the early one, from like 2000 or whatever. It's like the side skirt or whatever, right? But it like has this like
start seeing a little ship growing out of that.
Yeah, it's got like a little, and I've been playing Starfield, and like you can like build ships. There's a bunch of different kinds of ships and stuff in there with a bunch of different manufacturers and shit. And I was looking at this like, oh, that kind of looks like a little spaceship. I'm like, no, stop, focus on your build. Because I'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna build this now. Tab says, ain't no need to hear my voice on something else except for Critical Wall builds. Oh. Speaking of which, Pabs, we should make built sideways can coolsies, or we should try and get them through the with the vertical logo. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Maybe next Koto, yeah, if you want to next time, Chris. No worries, no stress, but whenever it's convenient. Is that dry? Fucking sometimes filling with super glue just sucks. Like if you don't have a syringe to get like inside, and then just to ruin essentially to get inside the little pin. Yeah,
you make yourself more sanding work than you really want.
Yeah, but that's the only way to fucking pin fill, and it's like a deep reveal. Come to my live stream, listen to me, bitch. It'd almost probably be easier. Yeah, bitchin' with the Bro Builder. Hi everybody, my name is Bro Builder. Come on down to my streams. It do be like that sometimes, don't it? I might maybe if I I'll try one more time. And if this doesn't look better, then I'm gonna drill it out. Smell me? Because right now it's a tiny little pinhole, and if I drill it out to a larger, like more shallow, it'll be easier to fill with the glue. That is the theory behind that. Whether or not that works out, we're gonna find out.
Good luck with that.
I got 2 weeks. It's cool. I got 2 weeks and a bunch of. Nope. I cannot do it. Cannot do it. Mon frere. I'm telling you, it's gonna take me 2 weeks just to sand this stupid reveal.
Oh yeah, before I pack up to go on Saturday, I gotta do a little love on this guy. Got the weak ankles.
All right. What are you thinking? You have any plans?
Not yet.
Okay,
figure it out as I go.
I mean,
I set him up on Wednesday, and like he didn't fall over, but he was, I think 24 hours later, he was starting to lean good.
And this is a one-day show that you're going to?
Yeah, just Saturday.
But you got to worry about the table jiggling and all those people and all that shit. So,
yep.
Well then, sounds like you've got your work cut out for you.
To be honest, I'm more concerned about the mega size kits. Like even the one I snapped last night, like the regular one here, this big guy, I snapped him last night. This chopped up dude is from the first one I built, and it didn't stand up good. It fell over and smashed. That was actually the instigation to doing this, right? Andy and I started doing it roughly at the same time without knowing each other were doing it.
Right.
I was doing it because like it had fallen. It was on top of a fridge. and it fell all the way to the ground and went kaboom.
Shit.
Because the ankles gave out.
Wow. That's fun.
Yeah. But the
So
thing is, the thing's so freaking big, right? Like the only place it would fit was on top of that fridge.
yeah, I know that's the problem with building giant kits. I have there's another commission that's like really casual. Guy that it's for is really, really casual, really cool guy. But he's going to be moving. I think he's actually going to switch stations because he's in the military. He's going to be stationed potentially overseas and potentially in Japan.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. But I have a PG Unleashed that I need to be working on for him, for Funzos, and that I can totally do. And the nice thing about this is being a commission is that I get the opportunity to do the fun stuff to it and like work with him and do some creative shit, and then I can send it away or hand it over to him. Right now he's in Jersey, so it's really easy to just hand it over to him. But he's in Japan. Shipping is going to be sucky, so I got to get that shit done. So that's going to be coming up too in the near future. I'm getting a nice little list of these projects that I'm going to be finishing up. Forward to having these things completed and having happy people. That's what I want. I want smiling, happy people. Shining, happy people holding hands.
Yesterday, when I was messing around with the kits and snapping the big boy here, I had the B-52 song Love Shack running through my head on repeat for like 4 hours.
Oh no.
And eventually I was like, nah, stop.
At least it could have been worse. It could just be like that long end section of Rock Lobster. It just like goes on and on. And you're like, how long? This song is 11 minutes long. How is this song? It's about a rock lobster. How can it be 11 minutes? It is a groove.
Well, you know what kicked it off? It was dusting this dude. And there's that line in the song, is tin roof rusted?
Yeah.
It was tin roof dusted. And then
you did it to yourself.
Repeated.
So then you were just love shacking it the whole damn day.
Yep. Earworm.
Man. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
It is what it is.
It is. Aside. This is, boy, this sure is what it is as well, man.
Oh, that closet looks like a bomb went off.
Yo, Chris says, oh yeah. Chris Collins says, just got to good place with my Cerulean Project kit. Hell yeah, how is the goof, Mr. Chris Collins? I'm looking forward to it and everyone else's hard work coming to a fiend here in a couple weeks.
Love me a goof.
Yeah, there needs to be more of them. We need more Thunderbolt master grades or even high grades if they're done right. Not really a high grade kind of guy, but look, take what I can get. Saying we need Thunderbolt flight type goofs. We need the whatever the crazy new type dudes, some of their weird gyms, because they have some crazy cobbled together gyms that are really cool. We need to get the Act Guy team. There needs to be like Act Guys, or with the option to do the Act Guy team, like P Bandai options to make like the Commander one, or like, you know, the like have another set where there's like one specific one that's like Peebo with the weird like helmet thing and the extra stuff and the blah 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 that Daryl drives in, and then you have like another Peebo set which is like just the upgrades where you can have like the shield Act Guy thing and the flamethrower Act Guy thing or whatever, that because they all have different elements to them.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that stuff. I forgot that there was like featured act guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Which is nowhere else, right? Not. I mean, it appears in things, but it was definitely never featured like it was in Thunderbolt.
Yeah, not like that. It didn't actually have like a main part. And I have, believe it or not, I have a shelved build of one of those very gyms that I was talking about, the cobbled together gyms for in a fight scene with an act guy that I was going to customize an act guy and that. And then, you know, that scene in the second one in what's it, Bandit Flower?
Yeah.
There, where they're in like on the water, Daryl and then Formant are trying to escape and they're being attacked and he doesn't have any weapons though. All he has is, because he's supposed to be like recon, you know, so he doesn't have a gun or anything like that. All he has is the stuff that they call frizzy yarn, and it's an anti mine sort of thing. Right. So it's made to, you know, make things sticky. And and so what he does is he like flies and then zooms up this bridge structure and blasts all this frizzy yarn out so that when the gym tries to shoot him, it dissipates and soaks up all the damage. And then he like bashes it or some shit. I can't remember exactly how it ends up, but I wanted to do that scene with the whole bridge and the act guy and all the frizzy yarn with clear or translucent resin and the gym and like do the bridge all in welded steel. So do it all like made out of like steel and like TIG weld it all and like all that shit. So
ambitious. It's like a GBWC level thing,
man. Everything is a GBWC level thing though, you know. So it's like I have over here, it's like time is free, or no, it's ideas are free, time is expensive, and the balance between the two is priceless. Yeah. That's a working philosophy by me, because I've been saying ideas are free for a long time, and they are, and I've been saying that the time is expensive, and it is.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Nothing, I just put something on backwards.
That's not it. Oh, sure.
Actually, to tell you the truth, this waist part, collapsing the waist, was probably the second longest amount of work on the flight after the chest itself. The chest was pretty much a nightmare, but there was a shitload of work to get this to like just look real nice and just slide together. I showed Andy how I did it, but he wasn't interested. Everybody's got their own way.
Of course. That's freaking out. Chris says, I want to grab the Project V, or is that Project 5, Resin Goof Thunderbolt Flight Pack. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
No, it's not going to stand up.
None for you, sir. Here's what you got to do. You're going to go and you're going to put 2 giant concrete footings.
And make a 12-foot tall freaking unicorn.
No, just for this one. So the fucker will stand up. Of course I'm joking. They wouldn't need to be very big.
You know what I did? Those eyes that I reprinted and did all that work on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On a lark, I found out that PCB Way, it's a website where they make PC boards. Like you upload a design and they'll print the board, populate it, and mail it to you.
Oh, that's tight.
They also do 3D printing. So I'm having the eyepiece done in a translucent resin that's like high impact.
Oh, nice.
Maybe it'll turn into something. I don't know, but it was like $40 US, which is not cheap, but terrible. It's not too bad either.
No, I mean for custom work and printed out, I assume it's going to be nice quality.
Yeah, I mean this is testing out the service. You know, is it worth revisiting in the future?
Right.
We shall see.
For sure, I'm interested. That sounds cool.
Yeah. I put in. Actually, I took the cheek piece one of the cheek pieces and uploaded there, and it was going to be like $150 to print it. No. Yeah, no.
No. Yeah.
But if you think about it, if I had a resin printer big enough to print it, I mean, that's...
How much is the investment to get that?
What's the investment in resin? And, I screw it up and I have to print it a couple times. There's a good kilogram there. And for me, that's like $60 in Canadian funny money.
Loonies and toonies.
White. Carlis Tabernic. That's French swearing.
Whoa. Don't get me flagged. Just kidding. I noticed that too. So I do the Instagram grunt work. That's the only little bit of grunt work I really do for the podcast, aside from like lending my voice and wit. Chris does all the heavy lifting, editing, and that jazz. But so I have to like dig around to find the transcript because Chris doesn't give it to me to put on the post. I have to go and find it somewhere and copy it to put it in the post, which is fine. I can do that. But in doing so, I get to like jump around all the different sites and see what people say about our podcast or what the site says about our podcast. And it's everywhere. It's flagged as explicit, which really cracks me up because I don't really think about it as being explicit, but it really is. And,
that's Julio, right?
Not just Julio, man. We're all that. Chris says he does that on purpose. I kind of figured that was the case because I can do it. I can just go find it. But it sucks now that Stitcher doesn't exist because I could just go right to Stitcher and copy it off of there. But you can't copy it off of Amazon or Google or iTunes or Spotify or I have to go to like one of the weird ones like out in the fringe to be able to get to where I can copy the show notes. Kind of annoying, but I do it. So whatever that means.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the latest episode yet. I only listened to him in the car, right? And it's been a pretty busy week. Probably this weekend though.
Cool. What did we talk about last time? Oh, the last one is with is it Dave and Joel? So Dave the Podfather from On the Bench and Joel Stone, True Gunpla. We got another one coming up, not this week, but next week. It's going to be dropped, and then we got to record new shows coming up. And I'm excited because we haven't recorded a podcast in a little while.
How does it usually take? Like you guys make a podcast about an hour. What do you end up cutting out?
Sometimes it's quite a bit. Chris has cut out like 40 minutes of B-roll before, like just us like shooting the breeze, talking about stuff, telling jokes, just off-color shit, just all the blue humor. Chris cuts out.
That's a lot of work, man.
It is a lot of work. He goes and he goes through and he balances all the sounds and tries to make it all as even as possible, so everybody sounds. I mean, we all have the good mics now, thanks to Z's legwork and Adam's generosity, which helps out quite a bit. But yeah, there's still some variance, especially when we have things like the most recent episode we released. There was a lot of problems with the internet and with mics. There was issues where for whatever reason the mic selection wasn't the right one or whatever, and people were like either not using their proper podcasting mic or it was like bouncing around. There was a lot of like feedback and stuff going on. So
yikes.
He had to dig through it. Took a little bit of time. Oh, that's cool, Chris. Well then, by all means, obviously make it explicit. Make it searchable. People are searching for us. We got to make it searchable.
Yeah. Where are those explicit guys? I gotta find them.
I know, you'd be surprised. It's not even that. Just like find Built Sideways podcast. Cool. I didn't realize we are just past 2 hours. I got my sanding done.
I just realized something. What? Give me a second here before we go off.
What happened?
If I can find it.
I'm just going to sand too.
God darn it. Looking for a magnet.
Oh, I have some.
Okay, just throw them over.
I'll be right over. Yeah, I'll just go out in the backyard. I'll just chuck it your way.
No, I can't find it. I've got those goofy LED units that Bandai sells.
Yes.
I have like a third-party one that has a Hall effect sensor in it, so I just waved the magnet over the new, and his eyes light up blue.
Oh, that's tight.
But
no
magnet I had out day before yesterday is probably gone and stuck to something, and I just can't find it.
Magnet on the lamb. Right now, it's frying some piece of electronics somewhere.
Well, I probably would have known by now if that was the case.
Yeah, no, it's probably. I assume it's not strong enough to really fuck with any electronics.
It's a stack of those little ones. It was in my little. Anyway, whatever. It's been fun.
It has been fun, Jeff. Thank you for joining me. Thank Paul, even though he's not here, for joining me, and thank you everyone out there that's watching us and participating. We do this every Thursday, pretty regularly. It's always a different group of people talking about cool stuff, and please feel free to join in and join the conversation. So see y'all next time. Until then, be safe, build something fun, get excited, get your friends excited. Anything to say, Jeff?
Night all.
There we go. Good night, everybody. Bye.